Hello everybody, so Thiago here. Today I'm just going to give a quick talk about why I'm avoiding investing in animation, sprite sheet animation at this point. So this Dungeon engine, the Hunt Design Lab project, it has 1600 creatures and also equipments. We have 1600. I know that for equipment we might not need animation for them. Maybe in some special case, it would be good to have some animation to show some blinking effect in some item or something like that. So I got this comment here. I like your sprite editor. Would it be cool to give it a workflow where it can generate a character in motion? That was my battle when I experimented a bit. So let me show what is the problem. So when I go to Gemini, so I have the Google AI Pro subscription and I try to generate sprite sheet in Gemini, I got this result. I know that some people they generate videos with Gemini or Grok, and I'm going to talk about that. That's one option, but for me that's not viable at this point. This is the result for Gemini. It looks almost good, but I'm going to show that it's not good. This is the result with Grok. Grok result is even worse at this point for specifically for this. I really love Grok for coding. But for this specific case, maybe if I generate a video, they might compete. Or maybe my prompt was not so good in Grok or the image that I passed, because you know those are different cases. But in both cases, they are not good. The best one in this case, in this run, for this was just a quick testing. This is the result. I removed the background and then I went to check with my sprite editor to see the animation. So you can see here it looks really bad. Even if let's say I want to remove this frame, let me try. Yeah, let me put a ping pong. It's also bad. I know that some people they generate videos and then they try to extract frames. For me, that's not an option at this point. I have two subscriptions, the Grok and the Google AI Pro. The Grok build, it's super Grok. And they have limited credits per week that I can use. For the Google AI Pro, it is a plan where they have several buckets, right? So you can use to generate images, to code. You have like a window of 5 hours that resets the quota, but you have also one weekly limit quota. If you generate too much images and the amount is like not too, that high, you end up in the week limit, reaching the week limit, and then when that happens, you start to generate images like this in Gemini. Like I mean, in Google Anti-Gravity, you start to generate sprite like this. They look like crap, like really bad, instead of generating sprites like this one, because it downgrades to Google Flash 3.1 instead of using Google Flash 3.6, which is the current version, and it starts to generate those crap images, and then after some point it stops to generate an image at all. I really don't like the way that they plan. They have several buckets. It looks like the Grok build approach is worse, but to me it's way better because you do not need to micromanage your actions like, oh, I want to do this in 5 hours and then I need to wait another 5 hours. And if you if in a week where you want to focus in code, you cannot code that much. With the Grok build subscription, I prefer this approach where you have one weekly limit. You can do whatever. If you want to code your whole day, 24 hours, and reach your 100% limit, you are free. And if you want to split your limit between images and code, you have the option to decide. In Google Image, you can in Google AI, you cannot do this. You have fixed limits, fixed buckets. If in one week you want to focus in code, you cannot focus that much. That's way worse than Grok build. And the other issue is that, for example, I have those amount of equipments, those amount of creatures. If I want to focus in animation, there are just like 1600 animations, and I would need to generate videos for that. I know that trying to generate sprite sheets like this is not working, but generating videos might work because you can then select frames, frame by frame, and then try to build your animation a little bit better. For example, oh, a frame didn't, I did not like one frame. Then you can start browsing the tile that you want, and until you find uh, the frames, the perfect animation that you want. To me, this is not an option at this point. I want to focus in code, and this week, and I think for this month, I'm going to focus in coding this Hunt Design Lab project. Maybe in another, maybe in the future, I go back to this. Right now, I have tried several approaches to generate the sprites. They do not generate good sprites. What I really want, it's a lot of trial and error, and at this point I cannot afford doing this. I prefer to generate simple sprites for the equipments that I can use, right? And for the creatures, just the simple um, pose, and that trick that I'm doing right now, like, oh, some shadow and some jumping animation here, some mobs, the elite mobs, they get some aura, and those small effects, they are good enough at this point. In the future, I might go back and reevaluate the situation, and yeah, maybe I'm going even okay, so now I'm not going to code this much this month, and this month I can focus in just the sprite and the animations, and then I'm going to use Grok this week and try to generate some videos, and going to improve the sprite editor to, because also I do not like the current way. For example, I need to change the tile ID here, so I would need to upgrade this to make it more usable. And yeah, so that's my explanation, and see you. Bye.